So my mother is an evangelist. And I'm convinced that she won't be content till my voice is in a pulpit. I said my mother is an evangelist, and you'd be hard-pressed to find a more fervent servant. She is fire-baptized, and I've watched men find God through her eyes. I said my mother is an evangelist. Every Sunday she leads souls to Christ, but I tell her, Ma, I'm a poet. Every night I lead souls into the light. I go where most preachers would not dare. Y'all mistaking these words for poems. These ain't poems. These are prayers. This is how I talk to God, and y'all just happen to be here. These are all my fears and aspirations wrapped in a swaddling clothes and packed in a tomb for 3 days. And the Spirit moves the brightest black out of the way and resurrects the words I need to say, and they send off the page, or hundreds of people bear witness. So the generations from now will still be able to appreciate it, and I can still hear my mother begging for my soul, hoping that one day I would see clearly and find my way back to the ministry. And it's hard for her to understand because she's almost as stubborn as I am, that I ain't out here chasing a dream. I didn't choose poetry. Poetry chose me. I liberate souls every time I write a poem, and I bring down the walls of Jericho every time I perform, and I want them to come to me. I go where they live at. I mean, even God is a poet. You need only read the 23rd Psalm to understand that. How ridiculous must a writer be to say, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, or my pen and my pad, they comfort me. That's why I get love no where I go in this country. I used to contemplate suicide at least 3 times a week before poetry. And I'll tell you that to get your sympathy. I tell you that because I know at least 3 people in the audience are going through it with me. But who would have known? Who would have known that my own words could deliver me? Who would have known you could get closer to God with every metaphor and simile? And I ain't nobody. I'm just a ghetto bastard from an unforgiving northeast city. But with this pen, and with this pad, and with this mic, I'm larger than life. I fight the good fight, so when I'm dead and gone, bury my ashes in the same tomb where they buried Lazarus. Because 100 years from now, some young poet is going to be thumbing through the CDs in his great-grandmother's attic, and he going to raise me from the dead. I said my mother is an evangelist. Every Sunday she leads souls to Christ, but I tell her slow and deliberate, so she'll never forget that I'm a poet, and I'm following the will of my God, and I'm far closer to him at this very moment than I would ever be in a pulpit. Thank y'all for listening.